Hello dear students, this is Madhurima Miss. In my today's video, I am going to continue with the explanation of the chapter The Modern Millionaire, and the story is written by Oscar Wilde. The story is included in the syllabus of ICSE board student for the students of class 9. And the name of the book from where I took this chapter, the name of the book is Treasure Chest. Now in my previous video, I had already explained the previous few pages of this chapter, and in this video I am going to explain page number 91, the portion that is there in the treasure chest book, in the page number 91. Okay, this is the portion I am going to explain in this video. To check what happened in the previous portion of the story, to understand what happened earlier, do check my previous videos. Part 1, part 2, part 3 I have already made. This is going to be the part 4 of this video. Now as far as I have told you that Huey is a very gold-hearted person, and even though he knew even though he was not in a position to help anyone, even though he was suffering from financial crisis since he was not good at making money, still he took pity on the beggar man, whose picture was getting painted by Alan Trevor, his friend. Okay, even though he knew that he does not have too much money with him, he still decided to give this beggar man a sovereign, even though it meant that he won't be able to hire cabs. Hansoms refer to cabs or horse driven carriages for fortnight means 14 days. Okay, he won't be able to hire this cab. Still he decided to help that poor man, and the poor man had a faint smile on his face. Okay, there was a faint smile on that beggar man's face. Okay, so till this far I had came with my explanation in the previous video. Now let us come to the 91, page number 91. Then Trevor arrived. Remember, Trevor was called by his servant that a frame maker came. So that's why a servant appeared and said that the frame maker came, and he said to Huey to wait for certain moment, that wait here, don't go anywhere, I'll come back within a moment. So then Trevor arrived. After having whatever conversation he was supposed to do with the frame man, he came back. Trevor came back, okay? And Huey took his leave. And then Huey went away, blushing a little at what he had done. What had he done actually? He had given a sovereign to that beggar man without even telling Trevor. Okay, without even making Trevor know about this whole incident, and that's why he was blushing. He was having red cheeks. He was a shy person basically by nature. So he thought how I had helped this beggar man. He was very happy also, satisfied from the core of his heart. That's why he was blushing. Okay, blushing because he had helped the beggar man by paying him a sovereign. But basically what Huey didn't know, that the beggar man was not actually a beggar man. He was the millionaire who was posing as a model for Alan Trevor. Okay, now he spent the day with Laura. He means Huey. Huey spent the day with Laura. Laura is Huey's love of Huey's life. Okay, got a charming scolding. Why charming scolding, or what is charming scolding? Scolding means to rebuke someone, but charming scolding means to give someone a mild rebuke. Okay, not rebuking them severely, or there was no rudeness when Laura scolded Huey. There was no rudeness. Okay, it wasn't a harsh scolding. It was a charming scolding, mild scolding. Okay, for what? For his extravagance. Extravagance refers to when you do not have enough money to spend and yet you are spending it. That is extravagance. You are spending without thinking too much, spending too much. Okay, that is extravagance. So for Huey, giving a sovereign to the beggar man was definitely a extravagance, because he himself was suffering from a financial crisis. Remember, Laura's father had already said that until or unless you are able to earn 10,000 pounds, don't think about marrying my daughter. I won't agree to the marriage. Remember that portion. So still, even when Huey was suffering from this position, this condition, this financial crisis, still he decided to help the beggar man by giving him a sovereign, even though it meant that he won't be able to hire it's not handsome, it's handsome carriage driven by horse. Okay, he won't be able to hire cab for a fortnight. Still he helped him. So that is why That is why Laura gave him a mild scolding, charming scolding. For what? For his extravagance, and had to walk home. Definitely, he was not left with enough money to hire a cab, to hire a horse driven carriage, handsome. So, definitely, they had to walk home. Okay, he had to walk home, walk towards or till his home. Now, let us come to the next paragraph. That night, he strolled into the Palette Club about 11 o'clock and found Trevor sitting by himself in the smoking room drinking hock and seltzer. So that night what happened? That night Huey strolled into where? Strolled into the Palette Club. Strolling means to walk leisurely. When you are not in a hurry to catch a train or catch a bus or to return home on time, you are walking in a leisurely manner. That is called strolling. Okay, so Huey was strolling, and how far did he reach while he was strolling? He strolled into the Palette Club. Basically, it's the name of a club. And when? At 11 o'clock. Okay, at 11 o'clock, he went into the Palette Club. And there he found whom? His great friend, Alan Trevor, the painter. Remember? The painter. Okay, so Alan Trevor was sitting by himself. By himself means he was sitting alone. Where was he sitting? Trevor was sitting in the smoking room. Okay, Trevor was sitting in the smoking room and he was drinking hock and seltzer. What is hock and seltzer? It's a kind of a drink that was famous during the 19th century England. Okay. Well, Alan, did you get the picture finished all right? He said as he lit his cigarette. So Huey was lighting up his cigarette, and while doing that, he asked Alan that are you done with the picture that you had started, the life size portrait of the beggar man? Are you done with that? Have you completed that painting, that picture? He was asking Alan. Alan is now replying here. Okay, Alan is saying finished and framed. Remember, the frame maker came and he told Huey to wait for some time, and then Huey waited. Alan came back. So basically he is saying that by now I am done with the framing also. Not only with the painting, I have finished the painting and done with the framing of the picture. Okay. So finished and framed, my boy, answered Trevor. And by the by, you have made a conquest. Conquest means to win. Now what has Huey won? Let us see that. That old model you saw is quite devoted to you. I had to tell him all about you, who you are, where you live, what your income is, what prospects you have. So basically, that beggar man whom Huey helped, thinking that he is actually a beggar man, the beggar man whom he gave a sovereign, that beggar man became inquisitive. About whom? About Huey. That who was that young fellow? Why where does he live? What is his condition? Okay, everything he wanted to, what prospects you have, everything about Huey he wanted to know. That is why Alan is saying that you have made a conquest, you have won another person's heart. Okay, another person has become fond of you, became devoted to you. So we have already discussed in my previous videos that Huey had a very charming personality. Even though he was not good at sticking to a profession and earning money, he was really a charming fellow, and he was popular among both men and women. So here also, by his kind heart, by the work he had done, by the work of helping, by the means of helping, he had won the heart of that beggar man, the beggar man who is basically a millionaire, but Huey is not aware of the fact. Okay, Alan Trevor knows that, but Huey doesn't know that. So Alan is saying that you have made a conquest and somebody else has become devoted to you and is so inquisitive about you. Continuously that beggar man was asking for the detailed information about you, regarding where you live, who you are, what your income is, and what prospects you have. I hope this portion is clear. Now let us move on to the next paragraph. My dear Alan, cried Huey. My dear Alan, cried Huey, I shall probably find him waiting for me when I go home. So Huey doesn't know about the millionaire. He knows he is basically that model is a beggar man, and he had helped the beggar man. So Huey is thinking that maybe by helping that person, I have made that person so much interested in me that he will be waiting for me when I go home for charity. Huey is thinking that way, that maybe that person will be waiting for more charity. But of course, you are only joking. Poor old wretch. Poor old wretch. Huey is referring to the beggar man. Okay, poor fellow, poor chap. So Huey is saying, oh, what a wretched fellow. Old wretch, poor fellow. I wish I could do something for him. Now Huey is saying that I was only joking, or you were only joking. I really wish I can do more for that poor fellow. Okay, not only giving sovereign was enough for him. He was thinking now, when Alan Trevor is talking about this beggar man, he is saying that I wish I had helped him more, or I could do more about him, more to help him. Okay, I think it is dreadful that anyone should be so miserable. Now Huey himself in a miserable condition when it comes to the financial status of Huey, but he is saying that how miserable the condition of the beggar man must be, that he had to wear that kind of a cloth, had that piteous expression, his shoes were all tattered, his coat was torn and falling into bits. Okay, so he is saying that what a miserable condition for the beggar man to live in this world. I have got heaps of old clothes. Okay, I have got heaps of old clothes at home. Do you think he would care for any of them? Why, his rags were falling to bits. So Huey is saying, I have heaps of clothes at my home. I have bundle of clothes at my home. I do not need them always. So do you think he would be interested, that beggar man would be interested for those heaps of clothes? Do you think it is those clothes are going to be helpful for him? Is he going to accept if I give him my clothes, my old clothes? So Huey is asking that to Alan Trevor. And why he is doing that? Because he thinks that poor fellow living in a miserable condition with torn and tattered clothes. So that is why Huey is thinking, Huey took pity on the person, and Huey is thinking to help him by giving that person his old clothes. Okay, but he looks splendid in them. Splendid means very wonderful. Okay, he was looking wonderful in those tattered rags. This is the opinion of whom? This is the opinion of Trevor the artist. Okay, I wouldn't paint him in a frock coat. What is a frock coat? It's basically a knee length long coat owned by men during 19th century. So I wouldn't have painted him in that frock coat. I liked painting him in those tattered, worn out clothes. Trevor is saying that what you call rags, I call romance. What seems poverty to you is picturesqueness to me. Picturesqueness refers to as beautiful as a picture, so beautiful that you would create a picture out of it. Okay, so as beautiful as a picture. What you call poverty, that is picturesqueness to me. However, I'll tell him of your offer. So whatever you are calling as a poverty, that is beautiful to me. Whatever you are calling rags, those battered clothes are romance to me. But anyway, I will let that person, that beggar man, know about your offer. What offer is he talking about? The offer that Huey has recently, a moment ago, proposed, the offer of giving away his old clothes, bundle of clothes that he had at his home, to the beggar man. Okay? Alan, said Huey seriously, you painters are a heartless lot. Huey is saying that. Why? Because Huey thinks such a miserable condition for the person to live in, and he is calling it a picturesque situation, a beautiful situation. So that is why Huey is saying that you artists are just heartless fellows. Okay. Now Trevor is saying an artist's heart is his head, replied Trevor. Trevor is saying that an artist's heart is basically his head. And besides, our business is to realize the world as we see it. not to reform it as we know it. So basically, as per Trevor, we artists, we replicate what we see. We don't reform it. We are not reformers. We are not reforming anything. Whatever we see, be it whatever we find it beautiful for us, we capture it the same way. We don't change it. We don't reform it. The wretched poor fellow looked wretched, and that is his beauty. That is the romance, that is the picturesqueness for me. So, whatever was there on his face, the piteous expression, the old rags that he was wearing, everything was beautiful for me. So, I painted him the way he looked in that miserable condition. Okay, but no matter how much somebody had asked me, I don't think that person would have looked good, or I would not have painted that person in a frock coat. Okay, so that is why Trevor is saying that it is we painters, we don't reform, we just portray what we see. Okay, we show you, we replicate in our pictures, in our paintings, what we see in this world, in this real world. We don't reform any of it. Okay, and now tell me how Laura is. The model was quite interested in her. So here we get to know that Trevor has told about Laura to that person. So it's not only where Huey stays, or what his name is, what his profession is, how much he earns per month or per year. It's not only that. Alan had already told about Laura. To whom? To that beggar man, the model millionaire. Okay. So now Huey is saying, "You don't mean to say you talked to him about her," said Huey. Huey is now saying, Are you for real? Why did you talk to him about my Laura? I mean, you were telling that person about where I live, who I am, what my income is. That is different. But you told him about Laura also. Why did you do that? Okay. Certainly I did. Certainly I did. Who is saying that? Alan is saying that. He knows all about the relentless Colonel, the lovely Laura, and the 10,000 pound. So basically, Huey is being told by Alan Trevor that the beggar man knows now everything about Huey, not only the name and profession and the where he lives, not only the basic information, but also the problem that he is facing regarding the love of his life, regarding marrying Laura. Remember, the colonel had said, until or unless you are able to earn 10,000 pound on your own, don't think about marrying my daughter. I will not agree to that. So everything, that 10,000 pound, about the relentless colonel, about Laura, everything the beggar man now knows about Huey. Now Huey knows him as a beggar man, but basically that person is not at all a beggar man. He is the millionaire. Okay. You told that old beggar all my private affairs? So Huey is now saying, you told him about my private affairs also, the condition that I am going through, about Laura, about 10,000 pound, about the father of Laura, everything you told him. Everything that is private to me, that is private affairs to me, you told that beggar man, cried Huey, looking very red and angry. So this is where Huey is getting angry. That how could you do that? How could you talk to some unknown person, some beggar man, about my private affairs? How could you do that, Alan? So that is why Huey is getting angry. He became red and angry. Okay. So with this, I am ending my video over here. In my next video, I will discuss page number 92, next page. And as you can see throughout my all videos, I am carrying on with the discussion of this short story, The Model Millionaire, page wise. Okay, in each video you can find the explanation of one page, and I hope this video is helpful for you, and let me know in the comment section how it is helpful for you, and if there is any other chapters that you need me to cover. And if the video is helpful, don't forget to share among your friends, and don't forget to like my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching my videos, and do follow my next videos.